Hey everybody, this is Rick Guerrero with the Atlanta Mortgage Banker Association, and I'm here today with a good friend, Mr. Steve Copeland from AmerisBank. Steve, thank you for joining us.
And my pleasure, Rick. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And if you can quickly introduce yourself and AmerisBank.
Thank you. I have been in the mortgage banking business for about 34 years now, most recently with AmerisBank, who acquired Fidelity Bank about 1.5 years ago. AmerisBank was founded in 1971 with the acquisition of Ameris. We're now one of the largest community banks in the Southeast, headquartered here in Atlanta now. We're about an $18 billion bank. We have been #1 in new construction lending for non-builders as well as purchase lending in Atlanta for the last couple of years, and we hope to continue down that path. And we have a 98% success rate by our customers that would refer us to a friend. So we're happy about the direction we continue to go in on the mortgage side.
And you guys do a great job, one of the strongest reputable banks in Georgia. How has COVID-19 affected your day-to-day operations?
Well, Rick, fortunately, we have been very lucky to be able to work remotely and to do it so well. I would never guess 60 days ago that you told me we wouldn't have any operation staff in the office and we could close the amount and the number of loans that we have. But our online process, our digital process is very seamless for the customer. Their information is protected. We can process the information quickly. We work very closely with the closing attorneys in Georgia as far as providing for video closings should they need to take place, or even for power of attorneys on some of these purchases for those that can't or do not want to attend the closing themselves. So we try to stay on the cutting edge of technology, and we have been very fortunate and successful in doing that.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, so something I hear a lot within our industry from realtors and a lot of different vendors, and you can answer this question for me, is what's the difference of doing business with a bank versus a non-bank, especially in this environment?
Well, that's a good question. While we have a lot of excellent competitors in this industry, different times call for different measures. And certainly in this current environment, I think being a bank is very significant. It gives you an advantage with respect to the capital that may be required either in warehouse lending or on the secondary market. As far as investors are concerned, with some of the changes that they have made in buying loans, we have basically been able to get around that by doing all of the lending ourselves internally. So with respect to the agency loans, we're selling loans to Fannie and to Freddie and to Ginnie, and we retain servicing on them. And we are also retaining our jumbo and portfolio products. So the need for us to go outside of our four walls is not necessary at this time. So we're very fortunate to be a part of AmerisBank and to be able to do that and to completely offer our entire lending menu and business as usual in the marketplace.
Excuse me. Very interesting stuff, Steve. And you know, I've known you now for a couple of years, and you have such a strong, high reputation within the industry. At any industry event that I'm at, when your name comes up, people just rave about you. So I wanted to pick your brain on why an organization like Atlanta Mortgage Banker Association or the Mortgage Banker Association of Georgia, why is it so important to be a part of these organizations? And what is the value of these organizations to you?
Well, I appreciate the kind words. I think the value of any organization is the people, and what the Atlanta Mortgage Bankers brings to light is people from different companies and different professions, and we're fortunate enough to have account reps, loan officers, underwriters, closers, title companies, closing attorneys, credit bureau reps, and everybody that has a different angle on the business. And I don't think you can ever learn too much about everything that goes on in our industry, and it's critical to understand what some of these other vendors provide and how you can take advantage of them to be a better company. And the AMBA gives you that opportunity. Their joint involvement with the Georgia Association of Mortgage Bankers is also very important. You know, to have access to the Department of Banking and Finance, to have your word heard and to be taken seriously is an incredible asset. To use Mo Thrash as our lobbyist, who we keep on retainer, to give us the news at the Capitol and tell us what legislation might affect us is significantly important. And to have Loretta Salzano as our in-house attorney for compliance and is very informative, and it allows us to make the right decisions as a group about our industry and how it impacts and affects everybody. And the key to that is really participation. And if we don't have membership and we don't have people that want to go the extra mile to help, then there's not going to be as much success as we have had. And I think that, people like yourself and the others that have been doing this for 5 and 10 and 15 years are always the same. It's always the same faces, and we need to reach out and get some of the others to get involved, because there is a lot and taken away from it. And I've always believed that regardless of whether you're talking to somebody at any other company in any other position, you can always learn from them. And whether or not it applies to your business today, it may not, but it might be something that you can take with you for tomorrow or somewhere down the road, because everybody in our organization and everybody in this industry really truly has a lot to give.
No, I definitely want to echo that sentiment. I got involved in the Atlanta Mortgage Bankers Association several years back. I met a wonderful lady named Sue Hamilton, who I'm sure you know, who took me under her wing and taught me a lot of the industry and a lot of as a leader, how to be a better leader. And there's just a lot of people like her, like yourself, a lot of strong leaders in our organization that are happy to pass along the elevator and pass along the torch to others that want to learn. So thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for being a part of this call. Anything you want to add before we wrap this thing up?
No, I don't. Thank you for taking the initiative to start this, and I can't imagine that this will change anything as far as how we communicate down the road. Hopefully, everybody can remain safe, and come June or July or August, it'll be business as usual. But I think these conferences, these video conferences and Zoom calls are going to have a place in our industry for years to come.
Absolutely. Well, all right, everybody, if you have any questions for Steve or comments, his information will be in the post. So feel free to reach out to him. He will love to chat with you and answer any questions you have. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Rick. Have a great afternoon.